And there comes the 119. You guys are in for a special treat today. Usually when we bring in the locomotives, we bring them in one at a time. You're getting to see them both go at the same time. So you see the large steam coming out of the 119. That's called a blowdown. And that's just so that they can clean out the sediments in the tank. There's the one whistle for stop. And you can see that there's doing another blowdown. Those are probably the cleanest sage bushes we have in the park. They usually try to do it up there. Just remember, if you are along the track side, you need to stay 15 feet away from the locomotives. So here at Golden Spike, we actually have 3 locomotives. Of course, the Jupiter and 119, which we are known for. But for some people don't realize, we also have our helper locomotive. And that locomotive is Buttercup. Buttercup is out of the Hill Air Force Base, built in the 1950s. And if our locomotives were ever to have trouble or get stuck on the track, Buttercup comes to the rescue and takes them off. So we do have 3 here total. And Buttercup is the youngest of the locomotives here, or the oldest locomotive, I'm sorry, because it was like in the 1950s. Nope, we got Jupiter starting to back down now. You'll notice as it does come in, it's very decorative. Back in the 1860s, they didn't have any internet and they didn't have billboards or TVs, so the way they would advertise was by decorating their locomotives. That's the way it would go through the intersection, let the cars know that a locomotive is coming through. If this had been 1869, it would have come through that intersection dead silent. Because back in 1869, if you blew a whistle in an intersection, you would scare the horses. Feel free to wave as the engineer and the firemen go by. For those of you that are on the west track, you'll see the fireman out doing the switch, and he switches the track manually, just like they did back in the 1800s. We have the Jupiter back up so we can give the nice illusion that when it's coming in, looks like it's coming in from the west, from Sacramento.
Moving on. 222 over, 1, 2, hey, hey. Check. 1, 2,
Here comes in the 119.
Check.
Feel free to wave as they go by.
Check. 1, 2, hey.
You can't get on the screen. I like to say that the 119 has the nice smell of industry as it comes by. The numbers on the locomotive indicate which when they came out of the line. So the Central Pacific, the Jupiter, has the number 60 on it. It means that it was the 60th locomotive to come out of the Central Pacific line. The 119 would have been the 119th locomotive out of the Union Pacific line. These locomotives carry about 2,800 gallons of water. And on that 2,800 gallons of water, they could go about 25 to 30 miles before they'd have to stop and refill with water again. So that's why you can look on the Transcontinental Railroad map and notice that every 25 to 30 miles, there's a town, because they had to stop and fill with water. So these are steam locomotives. They do run on the steam as well as the wood and coal. And eventually, when the Transcontinental Railroad was completed, they changed from just wood, from coming from the west. They stopped using wood and went straight to coal because that was more efficient. And the Jupiter's going to back up and come past us one more time.
Good. 1, 2, still moving. 2, hey, 1, 2, hey, yeah. Testing 1, 2. Testing 1, 2. Hey, yeah. Yeah, kind of better. Hey. Test. 1, 2. Set a feedback, Solid. Let's take a look back down. Hey, yeah. 2, yeah. That's better. Test. 1, 2, good. Good beef.
If you listen as the 119 backs up, you can actually hear the huffing and chuffing sound.
Check.
It makes it chuff.
Yes.
Sounds like I think I can.
1, 2, hey, hey, yeah. 1, 2, hey, hey, hey. 2, 2, 2, 2, hey, 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 yeah, yeah. 1, 2. Steve, what's up, baby?
Both of the locomotives have done 2 whistles, which means forward. So the firemen will step out of each locomotive and put a chain down, and that is the way they brake these locomotives. Works as a brake. Appreciate you coming out for the arrival of the 119 and the Jupiter. We have plenty more activities planned for today. If you have any questions about any of the locomotives or festivities or anything like that, just feel free to ask any of the rangers. We're glad you could come out today to join us in celebrating our 150th anniversary and also Mother's Day.
Hey, 1, 2. 2, 2, 2, 1, 2. 1, 2, yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah. Yep. Ha, ha, ha. 2, 2, 2, 2. Hey, 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 hey.